Hey everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the FIFA 17 Road to Glory on my channel. Today it's going to be episode number 27 and there isn't actually going to be any gameplay today because it's basically going to be rounding up the Road to Glory and actually trying to rack up a few coins. Now, as you can see, we started this one on 87.3k is that, which is a really decent coin amount actually. As you can see, I've sold a lot of the big players in my club just to rack up a few more coins to complete this episode. But as you can see, there are just a few of the guys that have indeed actually gone ahead and sold on. And I wanted to go ahead and do the bronze pack method today, so I wanted to go ahead and open 30 bronze packs. And I'll show you guys in just a moment what I'm going to be doing with them. Basically just racking up all of the cards I get, putting a few of them in the club that aren't going to go for anything, just discarding a few of them, and just of course selling a few of them too. They're only 400 coins, so there's a really good chance of you making profit back on all of these packs. I just wanted to get up to like 100k this episode. So as you can see, we dive into it. We get Altendog, and I'll show you guys just in this pack what we actually go ahead and do with all these packs. So as you can see, we get this. So what we go ahead and do, compare the price in the transfer market. It's 200 coins. It's nothing. We'll store him in the club. Wait for him to be involved in a marquee matchups or for his price to go up, but then we'll send him on then. Same with this Mosqueda guy, of course, not worth anything. We go ahead and whack him in the club. These two contracts, we go ahead and store in the club too. Could be useful. Who knows why. Always look for the shiny item. That will definitely, a lot of the time, end up going for something. As you see this kit there, we can probably get 200 coins out of that, to be honest. Someone probably will buy that. And this Altendag, as you can see immediately, we find a good player. These, like, the probably the nations, they really do go for a decent amount of coins. There's like 300 coins right there, which is a third of the pack already made up. And as you can see, we have other items that we wanted to sell too in there. And of course, with the discarding. And it ends up giving you quite a good coin amount. I'll show you what I'm doing, okay, with just a few more packs. These aren't necessarily my best packs. I don't think they are, actually. We've got way better packs than some of the ones I've been showing you in this little clip here. But these are some of the packs I was opening. As you can see, we get a few guys and we whack you on the transfer list. We're continuing to check through. And yeah, I was literally just hoping to make some really good profit from this. Unfortunately, there isn't any gameplay. I do apologise for that, guys. I think for the next couple of episodes there won't be any gameplay. Really trying to rack up the Road to Glory and just get it into a stable position where we have a lot of coins to actually build some absolutely epic sides. So as you can see, we're just continuing to sell on all these players, put a few of them in the club. We're storing, of course, those two contracts again. And as you see, I found a Premier League manager here, so yeah, I just store him in the club too because that's actually a pretty good manager card. Obviously, it could be quite useful. I believe this is our 20th pack now. We did our 10th before. This is our 20th. We get Maxwell. He's Welsh. Who knows? He could go for something. He's from the English League, so there's always a decent chance. But as you can see, he goes for absolutely nothing, so we send him to the club. Same for Butterfield. We're always going to be checking these men. And as you can see, we go ahead and store him in the club. He's not going for anything. Scottish League manager. Not even a point of checking, to be honest. All of those who store in the club, the fitness is really important to store in the club. I just love player fitness. As you can see, we continue going on here. And as you can see, we get a rare bronze card in our last pack, and it is Zwiniel. It's decent. It's a rare card, and it's 64 red, which is really quite good, to be honest. But I did actually end up getting some decent players. As you can see, these guys are going for an absolutely crazy amount, some of them. So I was really hoping to make profit on this. This episode does end up leaving off a bit destroyed, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Yeah, but it all racks up, and eventually, by episode 30, we should have tied everything up. And everything from this episode onwards will be all neatened up, of course. A lot of stuff will be done off episode, like a lot of selling of cards and stuff. But yeah, for now we're kind of just opening bronze packs and just trying to get as many coins as possible. And our last pack that we're opening here, we actually did get quite a lot of players. A hefty amount, really. And as you can see, it's all the better really to store into the club and sell on at a later date. We're only left with 4 items that we can discard, which is decent. We only spent 10k or around about that on all of those packs. Squad building challenges was something that I wanted to complete. I wanted to complete a squad building challenge, and the marquee matchup was that there was 22 hours remaining on it, and I'd gone ahead and completed all of it. You can see my coin amount is about 50,000 coins, but the rewards you could get from some of these was absolutely sick. This is why I wanted to do it. These were the things we needed. So this is the Real vs Atletico game. You basically just need a squad full of 80 rated players. And yeah, I basically went ahead and did it that way. It's quite an expensive marquee matchup, but the reward for it is indeed quite good. We go ahead and submit the La Liga one. That's how it looks. That's the Real vs Atletico game. That ended 1-1, of course. We get some decent rewards for that. Then we move on to the next one. It's this one. Really cheap. I looked on some of the ones online how to complete this. They were so much more expensive than the ones that I ended up putting together. Like, some of the centre mids that people included literally cost around 4,000 coins, when you can actually go ahead and get some of them for a ridiculous amount of actually like 200 coins. which is ridiculous. So make sure I think in the squad building challenges, find your own way about it, because a lot of the time the ones online are just a little too expensive. As you can see here, we go ahead and submit the Bundesliga one, Cologne versus Gladbach. We used all Bundesliga players apart from Huth at left back, just adding a few more German players, as he was cheaper than any of the German left backs in the Bundesliga, basically. This is the next one. This is a really cheap one, actually. You can actually use your own little perfect links for those. CDM, left back, striker, cam. You see those little green links I have all around there. That's basically, it was a weird squadding challenge, actually, because there were just so many different little leagues involved, because you could only have a maximum of 3 players from one league, so it had to be a lot of strong links in there, obviously. There are a few Polish players, so we needed 2, so it was a weird little squabbling challenge, but we ended up completing all of the marquee matchups, and there's the rare mega pack, and of course the 1,000 coins, and we also got 500 coins from each one along the way. Now, moving on to the store, 5 packs are begging to be opened right here. As you can see, I charge onto them. The gold pack is indeed the first one. Then we have, I believe, I don't know. I start with the 2 rare gold packs, I don't believe. Yeah, you can see there we go, dive into it. Of course, hoping for a walkout. We don't get one. But we do indeed end up getting Marc Bartra, which is decent, I suppose. It's not too bad at all. He's got really good defending stats, actually, Marc Bartra. I don't think he's that good, but it's 2 Bundesliga players. They've got on the transfer list. There's no problem about that. All of the cards I get in these packs will indeed be sold on off camera. We down to the gold pack now, and yeah, we do not get a rare player, which is pretty bad. We got Duvan Zapata from Udinese, the Colombian, who actually does a decent striker, to be honest, but not really someone we're looking for. Wanted to make a lot of coins, didn't look like it was going to happen. We got Del Valle and Schnelikov, who do have a good bit of pace about them. What I love about opening these gold packs is that a lot of stuff doesn't even end up going for a bit. As you see, we just discard the rest for 143 coins. Now we move on to our third pack. It's going to be the Premium Gold Players pack. And as you can see, we dive into it, and it is indeed now opened. And yeah, we get Islam Slimani. It's not going too well, is it, boys? Really could have done with a few better packs than this. Somani in general on FIFA, he's not that good, I don't think. Maybe good for crosses, but apart from that, if you're trying to score with him, it's not really that much of a threat. As you can see, we go ahead and conceive a few of those guys on the transfer list. We've got a lot of players in there, including Duvan Zapata again, actually. Now we move on to the next pack here. It is indeed Adrissa Ghana Gay. That's quite a good pack, to be honest. I'll definitely take it. And yeah, it's not really too shabby Alonso, let's be honest. And this is where my Elgato just decides to have a day off. It says, you know what, fuck you. You don't get to see any of the packs, but I think I'll show you guys all the guys I get at a later date in the episode. But as we do have in the next one, we get Rafael Varane, which is actually a decent pack. You can kind of see that. Also, you can pause the video right now or before. I said now at the wrong moment, but you can pause it before. And you actually saw we got Nasri in there. We got Quadrado, a few good badges, kits in there. But that was enough of that. That was too many packs. And as you can see, we're in a bit of a situation here. We may or not have lost a bit of coins from doing all these bronze packs and doing all of this, but I still wanted a good left mid for my Premier League team. And I was thinking, who will I actually want? Marc Overmars. Then I realised, why was I thinking that? But then I actually thought to myself, the cheap Marc Overmars, Memphis Depay, his stats are absolutely crazy. And I go ahead and acquire his Man United version. And look at the stats on it. It's really, really good. It looks like a completely OP card. And as you can see, we're going to go through my squads now and just see how they look. That is my first Russian League squad, hybrid of Bundesliga and also La Liga. That's my Bundesliga squad. It's been torn open too, of course, through a few sales of some key players in vital positions. You know, Farman's gone. The Premier League squad is the only squad that is still staying strong in there, and Depay is now at left mid. It looks very good with him in there. He looks like he's going to do a good job for us, and that is indeed my hybrid squad that I recently actually built. It's got some decent players in there, but as you can see, 4 of them are indeed missing. Now, as I ended the episode, I thought I'd show you guys how the transfer list is looking just a little bit. These are just a few of the bronze cards that I've sold on. Of course, I did actually get a decent amount of coins out of all of them. It wasn't too bad. But as you can see, there's a few more waiting to sell on. Looking forward to get rid of all of them. But these are all of the gold cards I didn't even get from the packs. So feel free to pause the video if you want to check out any of the guys I got. I got like Alsamar, Snodgrass, Roller, Grankfist, Mayo, Reyes, Acosta, loads of different players. Peace out.